Welcome to the next chapter of As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. This week, Breathe Atlantis guitarist Jan Euler joins the podcast. Breathe Atlantis dropped their new record, Overdrive, last month on Rising Empire Records. Jan chats about the German metal scene, the history of Breathe Atlantis, and the band's sonic evolution, including their decision to go heavy again on Overdrive. I always enjoy interviews that feel more like a conversation with a friend, and this chat with Jan had that vibe for me. So I hope you guys enjoy getting to know Jan Euler from Breathe Atlantis.
Yeah, just listen to one of your recordings here on your side with Harold from Imminence.
Yeah.
Harold is a good friend of mine, and yeah, it was nice to listen to the podcast and prepare a bit.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, Harold's great. Yeah, that record's really cool. I love that record.
Yeah, Swedish band here. I do backline tech for them sometimes, so guitar tech and stuff like that if they are on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, Brad. Well, thanks for coming on and chatting. It's exciting. This new record is so interesting. It's such a departure from what you've previously done.
Yeah. I mean, it's like going back to the roots. Actually, we're coming from a metal and hardcore background somewhere. And over the couple of years, of course, we evolved a bit, and we tried to shape our sound a bit. You know, we had this idea that we wanted to do an alternative rock record once because we love that music and we just love that. Yeah, I think you would call it like butt rock sound. You know, we just wanted to do that. You know, and Nico, our singer, you know, his voice is able to carry that. But in the end, we didn't felt quite well there, you know, with that softer songs and performing it live. You know, we're a band that needs energy during a live performance. You know, we want to deliver all the energy we have inside. And you can't always do that with these alternative rock songs, you know. Yeah. So you're standing there and just playing the chords and stuff, you know, and playing a slower song, something like that, or not so heavy song, and you can't pull off that energy, you know. Yeah. You just can't, and that was one of the points why we changed our sound back to harder metal and rock music with heavy riffs.
Yeah. What led you initially to doing more like punk rock or post-hardcore, something more not so crazy?
For myself or for the band?
For the band.
I think every one of us had their own influences. We're all from the hard and heavy scene kind of, but some people have some more R&B and hip hop influences on the side, you know, just listening to that on the side. I'm actually listening sometimes to country music, you know, like which is, I don't know what's his name? He had this album Traveler, Chris Stapleton, you know. Yeah. I just love his music sometimes, and you know, it's just it's combining everything, you know. And so we have this metal and hardcore root in our sound, but then we always try to go different directions. You know, in the beginning it was just like, it was hilarious. I think you could call it mathcore. You know, on Shorelines, our first album, there was no part which really was coming back in the song. You know, it wasn't repeating at all. So, yeah, doing the jazz thing there, you know, like jazzcore stuff, and then going into a more poppier direction. So yeah, and over the course we met a lot of good producers and nice producers who gave us a lot of lessons and let us take part of their experience, like Dan Corner from the US. He is a great producer. We worked with him on the Future Stories album, and he did like Papa Roach, Breaking Benjamin, and stuff like that. You know, so we learned a lot from that and became a bit more mature. And I think we pulled it off quite well on this record now with Overdrive. I think it's the most honest and more clear music we have put out by now.
Well, let's go back. What was growing up like for you?
Growing up, for me, I think I had a good childhood. I was in my first life, I always say I was a soccer player. You know, I was into sports a lot, and I had soccer training like 4 or 5 times a week. Till I was 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
But I always wanted to do music. I had this kind of vision in my head that I just wanted to stand on a stage for once, you know, with a guitar and maybe sing. I had this in my mind always when listening to music. And what got me into heavier music was a mixtape when I was 14, and there were bands like, it was Foo Fighters, you know, and punk rock music, Blink 182 and stuff like that, or Refused. Yeah. Great band. And that got me into more heavier music. Before I was just a typical radio listener, you know, like pop music and stuff. And and for a long time, there were these two things in my life, like playing soccer, doing sports, but also had this vision of, okay, maybe I should try music. And I was very late coming into the music scene, starting to play guitar when I was 18, 19, which is pretty late if you want to really do music, you know. I mean, maybe not dreaming of a big career, you know, but it is late to play an instrument like guitar. But it just got me, you know, and I was going from there, learning a lot. I had the pleasure that I had many friends in local bands here who showed me some techniques on the guitar, like first riffs with palm muting, and I think it was Parkway Drive who really got me into metalcore. You know, it was their first EP or album back in the days, like 2006. And that just got me, you know. I just wanted to pull off these nice riffs with palm mutes on there, and and I just wanted to try if I can get a band together. And so me and a close friend decided, okay, let's just try it. Let's just rent out a rehearsal space. I had my first ever half stack, an angle half stack, and we just jammed, and we were so bad, you know. It was just like, okay, we didn't know what we were doing, but it was fun. We just started from there. So that was what's growing up for me was.
That's awesome. You mentioned a lot of local bands. Was there a good like local scene, punk rock, hardcore for you to like be a part of?
back in the days, I think we were spoiled here in West Germany. We have many great metal bands coming from here, maybe not as known as international acts, but we have so many big cities here. And in every big city, there were possibilities to get a rehearsal space or to play live shows, even smaller ones with club shows, like let's say 30, 40 people involved. It was everything was possible, and we had many cool emo, hardcore punk bands here, and there were always shows on the weekends when we were 16, 17, and these were the first experience for me going to concerts. These were the first concerts, not the big ones where you go to see Metallica or something. It was just local small club gig.
How'd you go from being in a not very good rehearsal space to Breathe Atlantis?
Oh God, it took us years. It was Breathe is actually my second band ever. I played in. So our first band, this was something like, I would call it training, for bigger things. We didn't know what to do, but we kind of did it well, So our first songs and recordings were pretty good with the first band, and we gained some traction here locally, but we didn't know what really we didn't know what it takes to get better, or just to keep going. We had like an EP out, and we thought, okay, now it's done. No, we're gonna get signed and stuff, and nothing happened. Nothing happened really. So the frustration was going on. Then we disbanded, and I searched for another opportunity to play live and play in a band, and I found Breathe Atlantis was searching for another guitarist back then. For me, it was just okay. I just searched for a gig, to play in a band and to practice a bit. But then there was this moment where it just clicked between each other, and we said, like, okay, come on, we have this opportunity here. We're not bad. We have our first recording, which was Shorelines. We released independent, and then some labels were interested. And from there, it kept growing, and it wasn't easy because everyone had their vision of Breathe Atlantis with the music, with the style and stuff. So everyone was very involved into the band, and it was always a battle between all of us how the direction of the band should be going. And I think that it was on the one side it was good that we always spoke about stuff and fought a lot, because it meant just we wanted to do good art, but on the downside, of course, we were a bit slow with stuff, we were not a fast band in the past, because it took a long time to get all these albums done. There was a big gap between the Soulmate, our last album, and this album, because so much happened in the past 3 years in our band. So
and not just your band, the whole world.
And with that, it was crazy.
Do you know where the name came from for the band?
The name, it was our first bass player. It's a very difficult history behind that. He was into philosophy, and there was a writer who was called Hofmannsthal. He was a German, and he had this story about Atlantis, and it was that the sentence, if you want to be free, if you want to have three thoughts, you should take a breath of Atlantis. You should breathe Atlantis, and that is just a metaphoric way to say, okay, the freeness of thoughts, the freedom of thoughts is in yourself, is in your heart, and you're free free human being who can think and act on yourself, you know. And that was way more complicated. Like he told us why why Breathe Atlantis was a good name, but yeah, we could just kept it, you know. Just, if you listen to our first album, the lyrics don't make any sense. You know, they're so weird, and it's so complicated, because if Germans try to translate something very complicated into English, you know, it sometimes it just, yeah, it's not working out. So
yeah,
back in the days, we had so many fans from abroad, and they were asking us, okay, so you have nice music out, but what do you mean actually? Because we don't understand a thing, you know. Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Well, is it wanting to appeal to, you know, artists in, you know, the UK or America that drives you to be an English speaking band?
Yeah, we always wanted to be international, you know, to have an international outlet. And yeah, for a German band, it's back then it was kind of cheesy to sing German songs, you know, to speak to write in your own language and sing in your own language. It just didn't fit our music back then. And of course, we had our heroes, you know, our bands we liked, and there was no German music we really liked, you know, and so yeah, that was an easy no-brainer for us to sing in English. I mean, with German, you know, Rammstein.
Yeah,
that band Rammstein.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so big, to be honest, and but it's very difficult to become so big with German language internationally, you know. So, yeah, nothing for us.
Yeah, just trying to universally appeal as easily as possible. Yeah,
because everyone understands, you know.
Yeah. How'd you guys get connected with the Rising Empire?
We were on another label for Future Stories, and after that we gained some traction. We gained new fans, and we toured our first time here in Germany and played some shows in Europe. And yeah, I don't know how it really happened back then, but we were writing Soulmate, and we were searching for another label. And yeah, Arising was interested. Many friends were in bands that were signed to Arising, like Any Given Day. They're also from West Germany here, and yeah, they told us about Arising, how awesome they are. And as you can see, they signed so many good bands and really so much good music, like Landmarks. They did Novelist back in the days, Alaska, I don't know, so many great bands. And yeah, we did get along pretty good, you know, because they have the same work ethic like we have, you know, and the same taste in music. Yeah, the work is just great with them, and we feel it's a family, you know. It's not about money a lot, you know. It's about the music. It's they don't try to scam you or something. It's just it's all about the music and about delivering it to the fans. So yeah, we feel pretty comfortable with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and everything they put out recently is just like been amazing.
Yeah, Eminence too. You know, we spoke about them. Heaven and Hiding is a great album, and yeah.
No earthquake shakes my ground. I will get through the
How did COVID and the shutdown of everything affect you guys over there and the band?
Oh God, yeah. It was crazy and it was shitty, to be honest. It drained a lot of motivation out of us, you know. We were on a tour actually when it happened, the lockdown hit us. We played the third show out of 16 on a national run here in Germany. And during the show, actually, when I played the show with the band, the tour manager came to the stage and just showed me his phone, and it was written, "Tomorrow is canceled. You know, tomorrow Berlin is canceled. The whole tour is canceled." And I was like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" You know, I mean, I had this I just felt it before that this is not a good situation. We were driving to this show this Friday, this special Friday, and everyone in the van did know that it will get canceled. You know, the tour will get canceled, and we didn't even know why we were driving to the venue. You know, it was a 4-hour drive, which is for the US, it's not bad, you know, to drive 4 hours for sure, but it's a pretty long drive. And every minute of this drive, we waited for the news to come in so we can turn around and drive back, you know. But it didn't happen, and we played the show, and but after that it was canceled. So, and we were stuck with that half tour we played, and it was quite obvious that it will take longer. So it was about time to write new music and to go to the studio again, which in the first place was pretty okay, that we could focus on studio, we could focus on writing and recording the new tracks. But yeah, after all this time, after 2 years now, it really is hard to keep going mentally, because, you know, we like to put out new music, and I think this time it really works out pretty well for us, and we gain a lot of traction and new fans. But these numbers can't give you satisfaction. You know, if you look on the numbers, Spotify, YouTube, every day, and you say, oh, okay, they're growing, they're nice, many new fans. You look at all these comments, and it's just, you get a happy feeling for a second, or for 5 seconds, and then it's gone, and you don't get that direct feedback from the fans. And it's lacking a lot of that energy. We just keep doing, you know.
Did you guys know you were already going to go in a harder direction with this record before COVID hit, or did that give you the time and space to kind of cultivate the sound and decide what you wanted to do musically?
I think we kind of knew before, deep in ourselves, but we didn't speak about that till we really focused on writing and recording the new material during COVID. And I think it was a pretty natural process. It was a hard process, but it was kind of natural, because it felt better to do harder music, to do heavier riffs again, and we always liked that, and we have these outlets through our label, which is a metal and hardcore label, you know, and we wanted to do that, you know, and all this aggression and all this sadness we collected over the past 2 years with COVID. We tried to overcome that with that album, you know, and that's why it is called Overdrive, you know, that it was a pretty hard time for us. We had member changes in that time too, you know, and so for us it was either quitting or just going straightforward with that record. And I think in the end we made the right decision doing that. And yeah, we feel great with these new songs, and I can't wait to play them live. That's where they belong.
Burn, burn, burn it up. Shoot and strike me down. Break the walls inside my mind and cure the devil inside. Running in circles, nowhere to escape. Am I strong enough to break these chains?
How has the response been so far to the singles you've released and shifting back to this heavier sound? Are people into it, or is there some people like, oh man?
I think everyone that I've spoken to says like, okay, this is your music, this is your kind of music style. And every comment I read was very positive, and I think there was just one or two comments who said something like, okay, the softest songs like Soulmate album were better, but overall the critics and the feedback was awesome. Everyone loved it, and we gained a lot of new fans. It's we can't forget that there were so many new fans coming in, and nobody was sad that we changed direction. And I think in the end, it's nothing bad to do that, even though it was a heavy shift, to be honest. Yeah, it was. But if it feels right and if it comes natural, I think the people will get it, why we do it, and you can hear that Nico has grown, our singer, that he matured a lot, and now he can deliver and transmit this aggression and this rawness of his voice, finally. And everyone loves it.
That's cool. Yeah, it seems like European bands, maybe over exaggerating here a little bit, they're more willing to experiment, and like European fans are more willing to just like go with a band wherever they're willing to go. Where in America, I think all the bands kind of fit some cookie cutter mold, and it's like, if you're not a metalcore band, fuck you, right? Like,
yeah.
Don't throw hip hop beats into our metalcore song, or we're gonna revolt. Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. We're kind of free here to experiment. I mean, we have this scene police, so-called scene police, that really separates metal from hardcore, and but in the end, if you look up like Bring Me to the Horizon, British band, I think they always gain a lot of new fans with every record they have done, and every record was something else, and the people just did stick to them, because they loved the band. And we really appreciate that we can experiment a little bit here. And I think in the end, we're just artists, who try to do art for themselves, kind of, because if we would do it for purpose, for financial or for fame purpose or stuff like that, or for the fans, or just for the fans, I think we would do something wrong. I mean, in the end, we just want to do what we want to do. It's our time, it's our focus, and our passion. And there's no blueprint to that. We can't do 4 albums the same. We just can't. It's impossible. And I think the people would dislike that too, if you just do the same thing over and over again.
Rising higher, I didn't see it coming, and
Well, the new record's incredible. It comes out March 18th. Overdrive. I don't know what the state of like shows or touring is over there, but you guys have plans for this year?
Yeah, it's all coming back here. I mean, right now we're opening up a bit in Germany and in Europe, and we hope that we can go on tour, maybe in May or June. You know, the first festivals after a long time, and then we try to organize a nice headline tour for this fall. But we can't promise too much yet.
Yeah, it's tough because over here, everybody kind of went, fuck it, we're done with COVID and we're going to tour. And I know
jealous.
Over there, everybody's like, we're a little more cautious.
Yeah. It's so difficult because I'm sitting here on the couch, and when I'm looking bands from the US on Instagram up, you know, I'm seeing these live streams and live photos. I'm just like, oh God, I want to go back on tour. I'm so jealous. The people are so drained out, you know, they need live shows now. They just need this energy in the room.
Now the world is going down. Will we find what we never found? Inner peace, humanity, or dying in insanity. Don't let us take over, tearing every kind of border before it's too late. Before it's too late.
Thanks for listening to As the Story Grows. Our intro music was written and composed by Jeremy Hunt. The As the Story Grows theme is by Bob Nana. If you like what you hear, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and review. If you'd like to support the show financially, you can join us at patreon.com/asthestorygrows. Be a part of our community and join the ongoing conversation over on Discord. If you enjoy this episode, share it on social media with your friends. Much appreciated, and thanks for listening.
I never felt so young and alive as when I'm diving into a tune. And now I'm learning as I listen along, and the wheels are turning, and I started a song. One good word and I'm gone. Oh, as the story grows, the more I want to know, the more I want to show you. As the story grows, as the story grows. You can create something lasting and great, something passionate and real. And I'll bring in my own good feelings, I'll sing it with meaning. Let's just attack it and never look back. It's wild and fantastic. All together at full power, we're so much better. What's that word?